Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 most important steps you should take and also you should pay attention to when you do intermittent fasting, especially if you're doing it to lose weight. Let's get to it. In case if you're new to my channel, my name is Simon. I usually share information about wellness and happiness, investment, and also entrepreneurship. I am an entrepreneur and also an investor in real estate. This is solely from my experience. The intermittent fasting really helped me to lose so much weight and also gave me a control of my day by getting more energized and also focusing what to eat and what not to eat, which changed really so much about my diet and also my lifestyle. So I hope this video will help you so you'll be more motivated to continue, so you will gain the most out of this intermittent fasting. So in case if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting, I'm just going to explain it quick what intermittent fasting means. The intermittent fasting is the idea of you eat on certain time frame and you will fast the rest of the time. When I say fast, it's not a dry fast. You can have water, coffee, or green tea or sparkling water with 0 calories or no added sugar to it. So your coffee will be black and also your green tea will be without sugar. So that way your insulin will not activate it and you will pretty much will be fasting. So your body can use your own body fat as fuel, as energy, same time you lose weight and also you gain a lot of health benefit from it. So most of the intermittent fasting as the common ones and the most effective ones, and a lot of people you've been using and been proven, is what they call the 16-8. What that means is you'll be fasting 16 hours in a day and you feed only on the 8th hour of that time frame. It sounds difficult, but if you really think about it, you sleep about 8 hours or 7 hours in a day. So the other 8 hours, basically you skip in breakfast or dinner. If you enjoy eating breakfast, you can wake up in the morning and start your day by eating breakfast, but just make sure from the time you eat to the last meal you're going to have, make sure it's an 8 hours time frame. That makes you that gives you the 16-8 hours. Some people do 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of feeding. Some people do 12 hours of fasting and 12 hours of feeding. So it all depends too what is the main ultimate goal that you wanted to do this. If it's for losing weight, most experts suggest that you should do at least the 16 hours because your body will start using your own fat as energy after the 12-14 hours mark. So in that case, make sure try to do at least 16 hours. When you start the beginning, it might be a little bit difficult to get to that, but you can ultimately get to it and it will be very easy to do. So the first thing you should focus on is once you start doing the 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of feeding, what does that means is that if I give you the time frames, basically if you have your first meal at 12 o'clock or at noon, your last meal should not pass to be at 8 p.m. That's pretty much 8 hours. And most of the time, if you skip breakfast, yes, you'll start eating lunch at noon, then your dinner will be before 8 o'clock. So if you can do it at 7, that's even better. It might give you a little bit of more than 16 hours. So that's how the intermittent fasting, and the number one thing is to be consistent on that time frame. Once you start doing it, okay, skip breakfast and you start eating your first meal at noon, then your last meal will be at 8 p.m. or a little bit before that. So that way you have 8 hours of feeding time and it's very easy to do. And with that, if you keep it consistent, chances are you'll be successful on this new lifestyle, as long as you wanted to lose weight. But if you do it 7 days a week, and on Sundays you go, breakfast with friends, and you that day you do your breakfast earlier, 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and you just shrink the feeding time in the evening to 6, or whatever that time frame works. If you do it that way, it does not affect your routine. So the most important thing is to do it consistently throughout the week. But if you skip once a week, once in a while, it doesn't really affect you. So that's very important. So that way your body will get used to it. That's number one. Number two is, what is the food you consume right after your fasting? Your first meal is very important. If your first meal is heavy in carbs or in sugar, chances are your body's not going to feel good, and you will start not really losing weight, because now you've been fasting and you give your body to even work extra hard to break those foods, the carb and the sugar, and try to use that as energy. When you switch that up completely, you'll confuse your body and it will work against you actually. So the best thing to do is make sure the first meal you're going to take right after fasting, make sure it's a good lean protein or lean fat. Like for example, it can be a good salmon, or it can be eggs or avocados, to something good without a lot of carbs. I mean, you can have a little bit carb with it, but not a lot. And also completely avoid sugary drinks and sweets and to that nature the first meal you do. And the next thing is, just because you've been fasting, if you're going to end up overfeeding, which means you load it up and you eat a lot right after breaking your fast, and if you're trying to do it for losing weight, that might not work. That defeats the purpose. So you need to learn how to control the portion and eat slowly and throughout that 8 hours time frame, so that way you will consume enough calories throughout the day. Even just because you're fasting automatically doesn't mean you can be allowed to eat whatever calories you want. Still, you need to control the calories intake based on how many pounds you want to lose. You need to do a little bit of research what works with your body, so that way you control your calories. And you do not need to be really low on calories, because again, if you go in a starvation mode, that works against you too. So make sure you find your sweet spot, how many calories you need to take. What was your regular, like for example, if you've been taking 2,000 calories on the regular before you started this diet, or 2,500, now if you drop it to 1,700 or 1,600, you start seeing benefit on losing the weight side. More than that, what you're going to be eating also makes a big difference. So make sure you eat the right thing. That's number two. Number three is, like I said, make sure you drink water and also black coffee. Avoid completely sodas or anything to do with sugary drink. Even before fasting or after fasting, if you eliminate that and drink a lot of water, that will help you detox your body and also cleanse your body, because that intermittent fasting same time is going to be start cleaning your body. So it will help you in that sense too. So make sure you take a lot of fluid, drink lots and lots of water. And sometimes if you're not a water drinker and if you need a little help, if you start consuming more of sea salt based nuts, some of the package, that's what my favorite ones are. Those are what I snack, because the salt one helps my body absorb some of the nutrients, and also it will help me drink a lot more water. So I use that method so I can drink a lot more water throughout the day. That's another thing you need to do too. The fourth thing is, if you are doing for intermittent fasting to lose weight, like I said, and if you've been doing it 16 hours and you didn't see a big benefit on your losing weight, you need to give it time, because most of the time you might not see the result right away. So the more time you do it, probably in about 3 weeks to a month, you will definitely start noticing some change. Right after that, sometimes some people might lose the weight right away, then gain the water weight back, then again slowly dropping maybe a pound or a pound and a half a week. So that way it will take a little bit longer time, but before you know it, you'll be 20 pounds lighter, 40 pounds lighter, 50 pounds lighter, over 50 pounds lighter like me in about a year time. So that makes a big difference, that time and commitment. So you need to always remember that time you need to give for this to work, because if you do it for 5 days, a week, and you didn't see a result, do not be discouraged, because it's gonna need time. You need at least to do it for 1 month to start seeing a big difference. The last thing I wanted to tell you about when you do intermittent fasting is, I always talk about this, make sure you do it with similar to keto diet. It doesn't have to be 100% keto, but make sure you eat clean, and also you feed your body the stuff you are familiar with. Anything packaged, you don't know what's in it, avoid that. Anything processed and you don't know exactly what's in it, avoid that. So that way you start eating clean, more greens, more clean stuff, more meats, clean meats, and also your eggs and your cheese and all that stuff. Whatever you consume, make sure it's a clean. It doesn't have to be 100% organic, but if you can do organic, it's good. But sometimes you can just do a clean eating, which means make sure it's not processed, it's not packaged, you don't know what's in it, you don't touch it. So that way you will make sure you're always being giving your body good nutrition. And also the most important ones are avoid a lot of carbs and avoid sugar. With that, you should be able to accomplish your losing weight, intermittent fasting ultimate goal. I hope you will keep on doing it, and I hope you will be motivated to even push longer. Sometimes once you start getting used to the 16 hours, you wanted to lose a little bit more weight, you can even go to 20 hours of fasting and also feed in 4 hours. And in between, you can do a lot of water and coffee, like I said, that will help you maintain. With that, one thing I want to remind you is that intermittent fasting is not so much of a diet, it's going to be a lifestyle. And once you start enjoying that lifestyle, it's something you're going to keep on going and doing it over and over again. It becomes your relationship with food becomes different. You become more aware and you will eat clean, and that way you will have a better feeling, and you start seeing a big change on your body, on your skin, and it will benefit you the most. As you do it longer and longer, it becomes a second nature to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. If you have any question, as always, you are more than welcome to contact with me and leave me a comment. I will answer any questions you had. Thank you again. Thank you for watching. As always, if you didn't subscribe yet, make sure you do so and click the like button. It helps our channel grow. Thanks again. Have a good one. Make sure you share this video to a lot more people so most people will benefit from it. Take care. Have a good one. Catch you in the next video.